Good morning, preppers. Let's keep prepping. Not a good morning for people in Boone, North Carolina. Time is short for them and us because I don't know if you saw it in the news. Let's jump right into it. Shootings at power substations cause North Carolina outages. I want to go ahead and say substations, plural, a couple of them. And it says 2 power substations in North Carolina were damaged by gunfire. It's a criminal act. Well, I think it was gunfire. Of course, it's a criminal act, leaving tens of thousands without power. Now, in this situation, it says an attack like this on a critical infrastructure is a serious intentional crime. And stick with me because there's some things I want you to see about this. It's very interesting. It's under investigation. It wasn't random. More than 41,000 customers are out of power. And with cold temperatures coming through, we already talked about power problems anyway. And they're looking at days before the power is restored. Days. Now, this is interesting. If you recall, I wish I could remember when it was. A few years back, there was actually another shooting at a power substation, took out the substation too. And it was actually theorized at the time that it was a test to see how easy it would be to take down our power substations. Now, in this situation, especially in the winter, and this is North Carolina, this is not up north. I mean, I know it gets cold there. But we're talking about many days. And because of this, even more so, the situation is even worse because an emergency has been declared and curfew ordered following the power grid attack. They're not playing around here. They can't play around in this situation. Of course, they don't want any type of problems like looting and everything else. But here's what we want to glean from this. And here's what I want you to listen to. Who knows if they're going to find the criminals who did this? I don't know if they ever found the criminals who did this a few years ago. Maybe it's the same nefarious organization. Maybe it was a false flag. Maybe it's a test on our power grid or a test to see what was going to happen as far as our response time. Who knows? All of that is not as important as what you and I do for this, because if you are dependent on power, which honestly, you need power, practically speaking, for heat in your house. If you have a wood stove with one of those automatic fans on the top, that's a different story. But for those of you, which the majority of people don't have that, no power means no heat in most situations. It's not a matter of just having convenience of lights, but it's about losing your heat, losing your freezers, losing your refrigerators. And so this is the perfect time for us to take this as an exercise to be ready for these situations. Up here in the middle of Michigan, the middle of nowhere, we get power outages all the time. And every time it happens here, we take that as a drill. Okay, guys, this is not a drill. It's time to go ahead and put everything into an effect because we've got to be able to maintain our life up here. Because between the diesel shortage, electricity problems, and now power grid attacks, is this going to continue just like all the different types of food processing attacks? It's hard to say. We need to be prepared for this. All right, let's keep watching the news to see what's going on here because I hope this does not lead to more. Because this could be, again, just a test. Because guess what? All over the world right now, we're seeing power grids going down because of different types of attacks and locations. It's not just North Carolina, but in other places too. Do some research at this and look into it because it definitely could be leading to a very cold, long winter. So we have to be prepared.